to the Principles of Man. I'm your host, J.E. Black. Subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. And thank you to those who have already subscribed. If you like my content, share it with your friends, your family members, and your co-workers. Let's get this information out to these young guys and even some of these old guys who think they still have. The topic of today's video is 3 reasons why you worship WAP. Now, I know that's been a trending topic on the internet here lately in the last week, 2 weeks, with the Cardi B divorcing Offset. But I'm not going to even make this show about Cardi B because it's not about Cardi B. It's about the fellas. It's about us men learning something from Offset's situation. Better yet, learning from any situation that involves a man losing something but having to regain himself. Now, one of the reasons why there's so many simps around here and there's so many men that worship women and that worship vagina is because, of course, we all know 70 to 75% of young men come from a single parent household. So they're taught to worship women. They're in the house with their mother and their sisters. First reason why you worship WAP is because you come from what I call single mother worship. What do I mean by that? Let me explain to you. Most young men have been brainwashed by their mothers. Now, don't get in your feelings somebody talking about your mama, because I know that can be an offensive thing, but we're doing grown man talk over here. Most of us young men have been brainwashed by our mothers. You spent your whole life from birth to 18, 19, 20, 21, however long before you moved away from your mother's home. But you spent your entire life trying to please this woman. You do good in school. You don't get in trouble with the police. You comb your hair. You iron your clothes. You do a lot of things that you probably wouldn't do. But as a young man, you're taught and you're raised to please this woman, to please your mother. You don't want to upset her. You don't want to make her mad. So a lot of young men, they spend their entire life, man, having to listen to this woman, which is what you're supposed to do. But it gets to the point when there's no man around, because either your father was a deadbeat, or he was there and didn't have enough spine to be a man, or sometimes your mother just runs him off. So you had no male in your life to teach you how to be a man, to teach you how to be masculine. You had no one to teach you how to deal with women in a masculine form. So your whole life, you've been learning and you've been adopting feminine ways. So your whole entire existence has consisted of pleasing women. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably don't understand that. Some of you guys who were raised by your mama, you don't want to believe that. But the fact is, it's true, because most young men that come from a single parent household and they're raised by their mother, they lead with their sexuality. A lot of you guys, that the only way that you know how to relate to a woman is through sex. It's because that's feminine, because women lead with their sexuality. Women don't have game. Women have sexuality. So that's what they use to leverage and get what they want. Now, the second reason why you worship WAP is because you don't know how to communicate with females in a masculine manner. A lot of you guys are simps, man. It's a lot of simps out here. It's a lot of men that all they think about doing is having sex. From the time that you was a young man, a lot of you guys were told, even I was told, that you're not a man until you have sex. But you see, having sex does not make you a man, nor is having sex a part of being a man. As Jason Black would always say on his YouTube channel, The Business, which is a very good channel to listen to. He always says that sex in women is a side effect of the accomplishments that you have as a man. So getting sex does not make you a man. And young guys out here listening to this video right now, let me tell you something, man. Getting sex in women does not make you a man. It gives you a false bravado. When you were young, 14, 15, and 16 in high school, and it really made you feel like a man because you was told that. But that's not true. It's just something happened. So a lot of you guys, your penis leads you around. I know when you're young and you're vibrant, your testosterone is really high, and you got all that energy, man, that's the strongest drive that you have, is having sex. So a lot of you guys are led by your penis, man. And it gets you to a whole lot of trouble because you haven't learned how to control it. But see, as you start getting older, man, you hit your 30s, 30, 35, even your 40s, man, your testosterone starts to get low. You don't have all that energy that you used to have. So see, when that head down there starts to slow down, now the head up here, your brain starts to pick up things. And you start seeing things clearer, and you start to mature. And that's when you start becoming a man, because one of the being a man is loin control. See, in order to become a man that you're supposed to be, you have to learn to master your loins. And a lot of young men do not do that. Even some of us old guys, we still haven't mastered our loins because it's a process. And you have to understand, you're not put here as God's gift to women. Now, some guys have told you that, some guys believe that, but if you really look at it, that's more of being a whore than it is being a man. Some of us guys, we don't know how to communicate with females in a masculine manner. There was a time with my nephew, had told me, he said, I got this chick I'm talking to, I'm dating, and I really like her, and I really want to smash. He was just keeping it 100 with me. He said, I really want to smash her, and I'm having a hard time hiding it, which I can understand because he's a young man. So I told him, I said, look, man, let me tell you something. Before you go out on your date with her, go and beat your stuff off and get that first one off and relieve some of that stress. So follow what I told him to do, and he went out on a date with her, and he said, man, I got to talk to her a whole lot more than I usually do. I was able to ask in-depth questions, and he said, you know what, Unc? After having all that conversation with her and really listening to her, I really don't even think I want to have anything to do with her because she's messed up in the head. She's been with a bunch of men, and she's just on a whole bunch of BS. You see, he was able to actually sit down and have a conversation with that lady because he wasn't under such stress. He wasn't under so much sexual pressure. And that's the same thing some of you men got to do, man. You got to slow down a little bit. This chick you texting, this chick you talking to, you probably like her, you probably attracted to her, and you so eager to have sex. But see, you don't even know what you're getting yourself into, man. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. If you sit down and talk with a woman long enough and you ask the proper questions about her family, her past relationships, anything she shared. Now, I'm not talking about men that's just out here just to tramp and whore around and screw every woman they meet. I'm talking about being a man of principle. But if some of you guys sit down and just listen to that woman talk, because women like to talk, and they like to talk about themselves. And if you just listen and read between the lines, man, you'll find out, man, you probably really don't even want to have nothing to do with this chick because there's something wrong with her. And she done been with a whole lot of relationships. And let me take it a little deeper. There's a lot of ladies out here are really, really promiscuous. And they do a whole lot of stuff that they don't tell you about. Sometimes when I look at a woman's face and she's talking to me, and I look at her mouth, it looks like a toilet bowl. Because, man, if you listen to some chicks, man, you know how many times she's given oral sex to different men? You ever thought about how many times she's given oral sex to different men, to several men in one day? I look at some women, I'll be like, man, that mouth done had more penises in it than the urinal at the Apollo Theater. She take it to the face, she swallow it, she do all kind of stuff, man. If you look at that mouth, man, that mouth is a toilet bowl. And you want to subject yourself to that? You want to subject yourself to the leftovers of 15, 20, 200, 300 different men? Come on, fellas, you got to respect yourself a little more than that. But take your time and talk and listen. And you'll find out that you really, really don't want to have nothing to do with that chick. The third reason why you worship WAP is because you think poorly of yourself, man. You see, man, before you can value somebody else, man, you got to value yourself. In this society, men are told that they're nothing. Your entire life, you grew up being controlled / a woman. And if she didn't like your daddy, she probably didn't like you. She probably treated you a certain way because she didn't like your daddy. She might treat you a certain way because she has had so many bad by men her entire life. So therefore she treats you a certain way. That having swag and being cute is what gets girls. But they didn't tell you that has nothing to do with being a man. You see, having swag and being cute is a feminine trait. You see, if your daddy was around, he would have told you, man, you got to do more than look cute, man. You can't just have swag, man. You got to work. You got to have money. You got to have yourself together. You got to have some things going for yourself. You got to be producing some things in your life. You got to have something to show as a man instead of looking cute and having swag. You see, we have to get together as men. Us older guys, we got to talk to these young men and teach them to be a man. And teach these young men that you're not here to please women. You know, there's qualities to being a man. You have to have principles in your life. You have to have standards. You got to be a man of your word. You got to invest internally. You see, most of you guys invest externally. You're buying rims. You're getting your paint job done in your car. You're getting loud music put in your car. And a lot of you guys are not really car guys. You see, there's a big difference between a guy who puts rims and certain things on his car because he's just a car guy and he's been like that for 30 or 40 years. But see, some of you guys put things on your car just to attract women. You see, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for external reasons. That's why it's important to invest in yourself. Read books. Talk to older men. Listen to the Principles of Man YouTube channel. There's a lot of different ways you can learn how to be a man. But you got to get out there and seek it. Let me tell you something, man. We think poorly of ourselves as men. But you have to understand, my brother, I'm trying to encourage you. You're a king. You're an alpha. If you don't know how to be a man, you got to reach out there and ask somebody. It's an old saying that says, in order to know What's down the road you're about to travel? Ask the man coming back. Ask these older guys, man, how do you deal with these situations? Reach out to your uncle, your cousin, somebody, man, so you can find out what it takes to be a man. WAP, it ain't really nothing, man. All WAP is a feeling. It's a feeling that you get. Guys, get some WAP, you're in love. You're not in love, man, you're in lust. It's just some WAP. Let me tell you something, man. A woman can pay you in two ways. She can pay you with two folds that she has. She has the fold between her legs, and she has a fold in her wallet. Now, when you're a man of principle, and you really understand what's going on out here, man, that fold between her legs means nothing, because it has no value. It loses value every day. And she can pay you with that fold in her wallet, which is her money, because see, women like to build men and put men together so they can turn back around and say, I put you together, I made you. But see, when you're a man of principle, you already got your own money. You don't need to be built because you're already established. And that woman has to bring more to your table than just the folds that she has. WAP, it's nothing, man. It's really nothing. Let me tell you something, man. WAP was placed here for you, not you for it. Now, I don't know if some of you guys are spiritual, but if you look at 1 Corinthians 11 and 9, it said, God made the woman for the man, not the man for the woman. So why are you worshiping something that was placed here for you? Remember, fellas, you're a king. You gotta be alpha. WAP is nothing. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and I greatly appreciate y'all for listening. This is J.E. Black with the Principles of Man. And remember, fellas, it's the principle of the situation.